Good day everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about orthonormal bases and the Gram-Schmidt process under inner product spaces. In this lesson, we will learn the difference between orthogonal and orthonormal sets, understand why orthonormal bases are useful, and study the Gram-Schmidt process, which allows us to convert any basis into an orthonormal basis. By the end of this discussion, you should be able to recognize orthonormal bases and apply the Gram-Schmidt process to solve problems. So before learning the process, let us first understand why some bases are better than others. The standard basis of R cube consists of the vectors 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. These vectors are mutually orthogonal, meaning the dot product of every pair is 0. They are also unit vectors because each has a length of 1. When a basis has these two properties, it is called an orthonormal basis. The goal of this lesson is to learn how to transform any basis into this more convenient form using the Gram-Schmidt process. And now, let us define the two important concepts. An orthogonal set is a set of vectors where every pair of different vectors has an inner product equal to 0. Their directions are perpendicular, but their lengths may be different. An orthonormal set is an orthogonal set where every vector also has a length of 1. So remember this simple idea. Orthonormal is equal to orthogonal plus unit length. If either set forms a basis of the vector space, then we call it an orthogonal basis or an orthonormal basis. One of the most important results in this section is Theorem 5.10. It states that any orthogonal set of non-zero vectors is automatically linearly independent. The idea behind the proof is simple. Assume a linear combination of the vectors equals the zero vector. Taking the inner product with one vector removes all the other terms because they are orthogonal. Only one coefficient remains. And since the vector is non-zero, that coefficient must be 0. Repeating this for every vector shows that all coefficients are 0. So therefore, the set is linearly independent. A useful corollary is that if we have n orthogonal non-zero vectors in an n-dimensional space, they already form a basis. One major advantage of an orthonormal basis is that finding coordinates becomes much easier. Instead of solving a system of equations, we simply compute the inner product of the vector with each basis vector. Each inner product directly gives one coordinate. In the example shown, we compute the dot product of the vector 5, negative 5, 2 with each basis vector. The answers are negative 1, negative 7, and 2. So therefore, the coordinate vector is simply negative 1, negative 7, and 2. And now, let us move on to the main topic, which is the Gram-Schmidt process. It consists of three basic steps. First is start with any basis. And second, orthogonalize by subtracting projections so that the vectors become perpendicular. And third is normalize each vector by dividing it by its length. The picture on this slide shows the geometric idea. We subtract the projection of one vector onto another so that the remaining part becomes perpendicular. After normalizing, we obtain an orthonormal basis. In this slide, it shows the complete formula for the Gram-Schmidt process. The, the first vector stays the same. The second vector is obtained by subtracting its projection onto the first vector. The third vector subtracts its projections onto both the first and second vectors. The same pattern continues for the remaining vectors. After obtaining all the orthogonal vectors, we normalize each one by dividing it by its norm. So the final result is an orthonormal basis that spans the same space as the original basis. And now, let us apply the process in R squared. So we start with the basis vectors 1, 1, and 0, 1. The first orthogonal vector is simply the first basis vector. The second vector, we subtract its projection onto the first vector. So this gives us an orthogonal vector. And next, we normalize both vectors by dividing each by its length. The final vectors are perpendicular and both have length 1. So we notice that if we change the order of the original vectors, we will get a different orthonormal basis, but it is still correct. And next, let us apply the process in R cube. So we start with 3 basis vectors. The first vector stays the same. The second vector subtracts its projection onto the first vector. The third vector subtracts its projections onto both previous vectors. After obtaining the 3 orthogonal vectors, we normalize each one. So the result is an orthonormal basis for R cube. So this example shows that the same procedure works even in higher dimensions. The Gram-Schmidt process is not limited to the entire vector space. It also works for any subspace. In this example, two vectors span a plane inside R cube. We apply exactly the same steps. First, keep the first vector, and next subtract the projection to make the second vector orthogonal. And finally, normalize both vectors. So the result is an orthonormal basis for that plane. This shows that Gram-Schmidt works for any set of linearly independent vectors. So this slide presents another version of the Gram-Schmidt process. Instead of waiting until the end, we normalized each vector immediately after computing it. So since each previous vector is already a unit vector, the projection formulas become simpler because the denominator is no longer needed. Both methods produce the same orthonormal basis. The only difference is that this version is often easier to compute. So to sum up this lesson, there are 4 important points to remember. So first, an orthogonal set has perpendicular vectors, while an orthonormal set is orthogonal with unit length vectors. Second, every every orthogonal set of non-zero vectors is linearly independent. The third, orthonormal bases make it much easier to find vector coordinates because each coordinate is simply an inner product. And the fourth one is the Gram-Schmidt process converts any basis into an orthonormal basis by orthogonalizing and then normalizing the vectors. So that concludes in our presentation for this video. And I think that's all for this video. I hope you learned something for this video. Thank you for your time in listening. Have a good day.